In this video, we're going to go from this to this to this. So I've jumped onto Pexels, which is a royalty-free image site, and I found my image. We're going to click download, and then we go to a site called Sandripper. Click and drag our image into here. Let's zoom out. And now using these tools, we can kind of line up our square, the texture that we want. Let me just do this super quick. So now we've lined up that building, we've got a square, rectangle, texture. You little ripper. Let's click export, export PNG. There we go. Cool. Now, if you want to know what we can do with it, let's carry on into Blender. Now in Blender, I've got a super simple setup here with the sky texture and the light. Let's delete the light because we don't need the light. Over into shading. Let's create a new material. Shift A, search, and we're going to go into an image texture, image straight into color. Let's click open. Let's find our export and open image. You can see it looks a little bit rough. That's fine. Let's go tab into edit mode. Let's go numpad 1 to go into front view. Let's go U, project view from bounds. And now I'm going to select these two sides. Numpad 3 to go on the other side. U, project from bounds. There we go. So let's kind of scale it just to get us what we want. From here, I'm just going to move the building up. There we go. So if we have a look at this, yay, we've got a building. However, it is rather square, but don't you worry, because we can do stuff. So what I'm going to do is actually just select this one face, Control I to invert my selection, delete faces. So we're just stuck with this one face. From here, let's go into side view. You can see that there is a bit of deformation, so we are going to have to do a little bit of work to make this look a little bit more crispier, but that's fine. So from here, what I'm going to do is Alt-R, add in an edge loop, and we might go into just material mode, might make life a little bit easier. And let's give it another edge loop. So first things first, I'm going to cut out these pieces so they stick out. I mean, we can even cut out each of these window panel blinds. You know what, we actually might do that. Let's do that first. So I'm now going to go ahead and add in a whole bunch of edge loops. I'm just going to work on the bottom section, and we're just looking at these, what are they, I don't even know what they're called. They're not called blinds, what are they? Panels, wind panels? I don't know, we don't really have these in Australia. But let me just quickly add all these vertical lines. Okay, done. Now let's add in an edge loop along the bottom. And while we're here, I'm just going to add in another edge loop just for this section under here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select this one edge and we're going to start moving them up and down. If I press G, you can see how the texture stretches. But if I double tap G, it'll move along the kind of the edges and it won't deform the UV. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for this bit here and the bottom parts of these panels, going slowly and just kind of like lining them up. And I'll see you back in a sec. So with this section here, we can see that this line here is a bit indented. So I'm just going to go E to extrude and bring that in. Let's delete that edge in here. Get rid of all you, son. Delete faces. Come back into there. And now you can see that we've got a bit of a lip. Let me now just align the top section now. And now with all these pieces selected, you can just see how far from perfect this is. I'm going to press E to do a little bit of an extrude, just to give that some thickness. And then from here, let's go ahead and throw some of these lines in as well, just to kind of get that top piece overlooking the top of the window. Oh gosh. And it's just going to be lining up. This is all we're going to be doing. If you like this sort of stuff, cool. Selecting these top pieces. There we go. And last one, let's go E to extrude. And maybe we can have it really sticking out like so. And if we jump into rendered mode, you can kind of see that extra geometry coming through, making it look pretty legit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly do the same thing for the rest. And now with all that done, you can see that we've added in that extra geometry just to kind of give it a little bit more pizzazzle. If we jump back into the shader editor, we can probably use some of these details. So for instance, if I were to plug this into the specularity, you can see it's not so shiny. Now really what would be a good idea is with the glass here is to make a separate mask to make that area shine completely, and then it would look actually like a mirror. Oh my goodness, I'm going to go do it. So here I am in Krita, and I'm now going to draw out these windows. So let's quickly do this. And there we go. I've now masked out all the windows. So if we go ahead and create a new layer, I'm using Krita by the way. Let's come over into the paint tool, white, click on that. And if I create a new layer, let's dump it behind. User can be black. Control Alt A, paint. Beautiful. So there's our mask. Yes, it's looking a little bit shonky, but it is 4 to midnight. So suck a lemon. Export PNG. We're just going to go mask. Okay. See. Back into Blender. We are going to add, let's just go a glossy BDSF. Let's go into a mix shader like so. BDSF goes in there. Let's add in an image texture. Open, and we'll open up our mask. And I'm going to dump that in there, and hopefully it works. Yes. So you can see how the windows are now super reflective. Are they? Yes, there we go. So you can see how they are reflecting the light. So that's how we've exported an image from an image, a texture from an image, and then we've done some wonderful things by adding some geometry, created a mask to make the windows shiny. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. I think that deserves a like. Even a subscribe if you haven't. Let me know.